I have John here with me. He's going to introduce himself, where he's from, and his experience as a solo backpacker in Africa, and share a few tips here and there to help maybe. Yeah, so let's hear from him. Hi.
Hi, Barbara.
Yeah.
I'm wonderfully unprepared for this. So, okay, starting with me. Let's start. One thing is, I'm John. I'm from Denmark, and I'm backpacking at the moment, but also working, which is new to me. I've backpacked quite a bit in my life. Probably backpacked for 3, maybe 4 years in total, and also traveled and worked abroad and stuff for maybe another 5 years or so. But backpacking is very different, I feel, from traveling in general.
So how are you able to backpack and work?
Yeah, but this is new for me as well. So most of my backpacking I've done. I started backpacking almost 20 years ago now.
Back from Denmark, right?
Well, which makes me old, which is fine.
You don't look that old though.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah,
that is very kind of you.
You don't.
No, but I am starting to get older. But I don't
ask
feel
you
old.
the age. I'm curious now because you measured it like the second time.
I'm 38.
38. Wow, you don't look 38. What?
This makes it worse. We should have never. How did we get on this track? I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah.
No, but but now I'm actually combining it with working, which is combining my two biggest passions. I think I like my work and I love backpacking. So.
Do you mind me asking what you do?
I have 2 small startup companies, both of them in deep tech, and one doing biotechnology and one doing software for simulating chemistry. So
That's perfect.
yeah, it's
I'm so passionate about tech. I think I can code some few languages, HTML, Java, just that for now. But yeah, I'm passionate about that, so it's amazing that I've just got to know that. It's really nice. I think I want to ask you what kind of advice maybe you would give to, let's say, someone who has never backpacked or maybe thinks it's expensive or it's too extreme.
yeah.
It's what would you say before you did everything? I knew maybe you backpacked back in Denmark, but before that, what was your push and what thought did you have anyways back then and comparing to now? Yeah, broadly.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think the number one thing is that it's not dangerous, no matter what people say. You can always do dangerous things in life. You can walk out in the middle of traffic if you want to, but you can also walk on the sidewalk and you're safe, right? And it's the same with backpacking, that if you take, normal precautions and don't do stupid shit,
It gets you in trouble.
yeah, I think it's a lot safer than a lot of people make it out to be. And if I compare at least backpacking now to some years ago, the smartphones have made things so much easier. It used to be so that if you arrived somewhere late, if you arrived in a town. No, but I was just saying that it was tricky to sometimes find a place to stay and just feel safe when you got someplace. Now with the smartphones, you can book in advance, almost like I'm going to arrive in an hour. You can still book while on the bus sometimes, which is just crazy, right? And you can when you get there, sometimes there's a taxi app, so you can actually you can just book it and just look for the license plate rather than this chaos of everybody yelling at you and saying and quoting you crazy prices. All these things. I think a lot of the notion around backpacking being difficult and dangerous and all these things, I think it really comes from a different time and from a misconception. And I think today, backpacking could grow much bigger still. There's of course areas of the world where backpacking is very developed, but if you look at a place like this in Zambia, I think maybe this is here in Lusaka one of the 2 places with with a backpacker kind of place.
Yeah.
So I think backpacking can still grow so much in many regions, and it can be
even more places like this opening up and stuff.
Yeah. And then on price, I think you can backpack on almost any budget. But obviously, traveling is, generally speaking, not a way you make money, it's a way you spend money.
Yeah.
So you need to spend some money, but you can literally sit down and do a budget. If you check some blogs online, you can basically say, okay, what is a daily budget that I should allow myself for being in this country?
Yeah.
And then you can basically just do the math and say, okay, if I have, you know, $2,000, how long will that carry me in this country? And and I think people are very often mistaking, like thinking, you know, that if they book the cheapest place, then they will be living, you know, in a pool of cockroaches or something.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely not the case. Like a place like this is very nice, and I think a dorm here is $10 per night.
Yeah,
or something
$10.
like
You can even get a discount.
You can get a
Stay
discount.
longer.
So I mean, I think people are vastly misjudging that by just looking at how much it costs to do some of the, I usually call it the American things, but like whenever you get quoted something in dollars and it's $150, sometimes it's a tenth of that price if you just do a little bit of research and do it on your own. So I really think that there's a lot of misconceptions around how pricey it is to travel.
Yeah, the point of having all these smartphones and everything to just be able to search for anything. I think we should look out for more affordable pricings, even for like hostels and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know, do you have any tips you wanna throw in? I don't know, you've been saying everything, I understand. But also like, let me see, how would you compare the backpacking in Denmark and here in Africa?
I've never backpacked in Denmark.
Oh, you've never?
No, it's a very small country, first of all. And also I've never backpacked
You've
in
never
Denmark.
done. Let's say for female backpackers, solo.
Yeah, I think that's one is actually really good. I don't know if it's a question, but it's a really good point that as a man in general in this world, as a white man, you're very privileged. And I think even for backpacking, it has to be said that I think as a single female traveler, you have to think more carefully than you do as a male single traveler, which is super unfair, but it's just in my mind how it is today. There are places where it's completely safe and you can do exactly the same things as a male and a female solo traveler, but there are also places where unfortunately the culture makes it a lot more likely that you get into an uncomfortable situation as a single female traveler. So I think as a single female traveler, it's still perfectly safe to travel in most of the places around the world, but you need to think twice about some places. And those places, they will be mentioned. If you Google, you know, is it safe as a single female traveler to go to X? Then the 99% or the 95% will be yes, but there's also, you know, a 5% that will be no. And then in general, I think as a backpacker and as a traveler, as a solo traveler, you have to think twice all the time. I think there's some people who do, as we said before, stupid shit. I get annoyed when people go into a country which is at war, almost to like say that they've been there.
Okay, I'm sorry to say, but okay, like they don't speak maybe English, like the communication, maybe in that country they don't speak English, and also maybe you don't speak good English, like from Asia or something like that. And then it's war in the north and someone told me there was war in Ethiopia in the northern part and stuff. It was very unsafe to even get around the area, and it's crazy, but she made it.
I would love to go to many places that I have skipped because it was not a good time to be there. And the most annoying thing is that then some travelers go there, they go camping somewhere, and then they get killed, and that's the story that everybody hears, you know, two backpackers killed, and then they're like, oh, this is what I thought, backpacking is not safe, and then it gets a tarnished reputation because of honestly two idiots who did things that, you know, 99% of all backpackers would have never done. So I think backpacking sometimes get a bad rep for things that are down to stupid people.
Yeah.
So if you carry your brain with you, then then you'll have a good time.
You'll
I
have a
think.
good time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I'll just thank you for accepting to do this and to share your point of view. And yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for coming
and awesome that you're doing this. I
Yeah.
think it's really it sounds like I think it's exactly the kind of travel blog that's missing out there.
Thank you. Thank
Something,
you so much.
pioneered by the person who's actually from the area and a person who is a solo female traveler,
Yeah.
showing that it's it's safe
yeah.
and cool
True,
and not too expensive.
And not too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful journey. I just feel like everyone should maybe try it once in a lifetime. Because anyway, what's there to lose? Like just fucking pack your shit and figure it out. Like from there, it's a crazy world anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm glad this makes me keep doing this. So it's amazing that I know it's valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Bye, guys. And yeah, I hope this video will help anyone out there. So just do one thing: subscribe, like, and just leave any comments for him, for me, and yeah. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye.